In this module, we zoom out and ask, what happens when AI plugs into every step of the RWA pipeline? AI doesn't just make things faster, it turns clunky, manual finance into a live data engine that continuously feeds and protects on-chain capital. Think of an RWA product like a lending protocol that stretches across several teams. The front office hunts for deals, scanning markets, generating leads, and doing quick "does this even make sense?" checks. The mid-office then underwrites risk, using data and models to price credit, detect fraud, and structure terms. Meanwhile, the back office tracks whether borrowers behave as promised and keeps reports clean and reconciled. Underneath it all, oracles and smart contracts sync real-world data with on-chain positions, closing the loop. Now zoom in on sourcing RWA deals and treat the whole internet as your data lake. News, satellite imagery, public filings, and social feeds all become machine-readable inputs. AI systems ingest this firehose, summarize it, and surface entities that look like potential borrowers or asset originators. They pick up early signals: a company expanding capacity, supply chain stress, a refinancing need, often long before a banker would cold call them. Automated filters then handle the grunt work: check size, jurisdiction, compliance red flags, and mandate fit, leaving humans with a short list of qualified RWA leads. Underwriting changes just as dramatically. Most credit models today still rely on a few financial ratios, updated maybe once a quarter. With RWAs plus AI, that becomes a live data feed. For a construction loan, computer vision can confirm the building is actually going up, on schedule, and on the right plot. For factory lending, IoT data can show machine uptime and throughput. Those continuous signals refresh default and loss models, so pricing and loan limits adjust in near real time. In RWA, the mid-office is where fraud detection and data integrity live. Think of it as an always-on AI risk cop between asset originators and on-chain investors. Models scan shipping data, invoices, and collateral records to spot synthetic identities, circular trades, and double financing. They cross-check counterparties against sanctions and bad media feeds, then keep learning as new fraud patterns appear, far beyond static rules engines. Mid-office risk is also where RWAs stop being just individual deals and start behaving like a portfolio exposed to the real economy. Here the focus shifts to how macro factors, rate hikes, inflation, FX, supply chain shocks, commodity spikes, flow through to your on-chain returns. Tools like factor clustering, stress tests, and live alerts help you see concentrations, model extreme scenarios, and react before macro shifts become capital losses. In TradFi, monitoring borrowers is batch-based. You review financials monthly or even quarterly, and by the time a problem shows up, the loan might already be in trouble. With AI, monitoring becomes continuous. Instead of static reports, models stream in payments data, bank feeds, market prices, even IoT signals, and build a live picture of each borrower. When behavior deviates from normal, early warning indicators fire, automatically triggering covenant checks and follow-ups. So risk teams can adjust limits or pricing before an actual default. On the back office side, AI can feel like a superpower. Most teams sit on messy spreadsheets from originators, servicers, trustees, and on-chain dashboards. AI can ingest all of that, reconcile differences, and map every row to the right loan, pool, or SPV. Then natural language generation turns those raw tables into human-readable reporting. Executive summaries, risk commentary, over-collateralization updates, even draft investor FAQs. The result is faster, cheaper compliance, plus near real-time transparency investors and regulators can actually understand. For RWAs, the core challenge is keeping off-chain truth and on-chain state perfectly in sync. On one side, you have bank statements, loan tapes, and servicing reports. On the other, token balances and smart contracts. An AI sync layer continuously compares the two, flags mismatches, and classifies what's actually risky versus just timing noise. Done well, this becomes a critical bridge. Every on-chain event can be traced back to a real document trail, which is what serious capital and regulators care about. Smart contracts can only act on the data they see, and they treat every input as equally trustworthy. AI-augmented oracles change that by acting as an intelligent filter in front of the contract. Multiple feeds come in: prices, custodian reports, even IoT data. I scores how reliable each source is, flags anomalies or manipulation attempts, and can infer missing values like delayed nav updates. What reaches the contract isn't raw noise, but structured data plus confidence levels. Machine-readable truth the protocol can safely automate around. Once AI starts triggering liquidations or restructurings, move fast and break things is not an option. Think of AI as a co-pilot for RWA decisions. It surfaces signals, but humans remain the pilots of irreversible actions. Strong model governance is non-negotiable. Clear documentation, validation against real data, and ongoing backtesting. You also need continuous audits for fairness, so credit or fraud models don't quietly encode bias into pricing or access. Finally, mandatory human-in-the-loop checkpoints create a hard stop before any high-impact, hard-to-reverse transaction executes. Traditional RWA pipelines are human-first and episodic. You source deals through relationships, underwrite with static scorecards, then wait for monthly reports and manual audits to tell you what went wrong. An AI-native pipeline flips that. You discover opportunities from web-scale data, underwrite with dynamic models that ingest alternative signals, and monitor positions continuously with real-time alerts. The key takeaway: AI doesn't just cut costs, it compounds speed, coverage, and risk control in ways manual workflows simply can't match. You can think of the AI-native RWA stack as three layers talking to each other in real time. At the bottom, the messy physical world: buildings, containers, invoices, borrowers. In the middle, an AI engine that reads documents, watches sensors and markets, models risk, and flags early warning signals. At the top, smart contracts that automatically adjust limits, pricing, and flows based on those signals within governance rules. When these layers share one data and intelligence spine, you get faster deals, tighter risk control, and more transparent, continuously priced real-world assets.